Happy Halloween, everyone. Today I use Samhain from Southern Witchcrafts, and I also discuss Spring Hill Jack, Victorian London's Boogeyman. Stay tuned. Good morning, everybody. How's it going? John Bonham here, Cape Cod Wet Shaving. Hope you're doing well. Another day, another shave. Today's coffee will be Starbucks Salted Caramel Mocha. First time I've tried this. Mwah! So good. Smell it out of the bag. It's one of those. I'm picky about caramels and vanilla. Really any flavored coffee. Because a lot of them you can just taste that I think the beans went under a sprayer on a conveyor belt and were just sprayed with the flavor that one roasted in. Too artificial, you know what I mean? Oh, this stuff's really good. Give me a sec. Like I'm not hyper enough. All right. So real quick, go through my gear that I'm using today. I need a new bottle of this. I'm going to have to go on Amazon and explain to my wife why it is I have untold numbers of pre-shaves, but yet I need another one. But it's shave oil, but I use it as pre-shave. Vanderhagen pre-shave oil. 2-day soap. Samhain from Southern Witchcrafts. I'll talk about this in a second. Why it's kind of weird that I'm using it, because I skipped over it last year. I didn't think I'd like it. Matching splash. And there is cedarwood and sandalwood in that soap. So I'm going to go ahead and use my Blacksmith sandalwood post-shave lotion, balm, whatever. Found this at Marshall's one day. Bought a kit. Came with a brush, came with this. Oddly enough, it didn't come with a soap. I think it came with a lotion and it came with this. Well, no, I take it back. It did. It came with a tiny little puck. That little 1-inch puck, about yay big. Never tried it. But I want to find more of this. I like it a lot. It just sucks that it's in this little travel tube. So I'm running low on that as well. My razor will be my Fatip Retro that I got at the razor company. Hello, Jason. Right here. And I'll be using Parker blades in that. Second use for this Parker blade. The brush will be from the Brush Guy. Brush Guy Violet is what I called it. I don't think he named his brushes, at least not the ones I got. I have obtained a decent amount of his brushes in one fell swoop. Won't go into detail there. Maybe I'll make a post about it. Matt Marting, how you doing, Matt? He's wrapping up shop. He's selling his lathe, both of his lathes. So he's done. So I had shown an interest. It's basically like an artist saying that he's going to quit painting. Well, do you have any paintings I can get a hold of? And he did. He has brushes. He said, if you're interested in them, I'll sell them to you pennies. Not really. Definitely, he just wanted to get rid of them, so I got a hell of a bargain. He's got some personal stuff going on. He and I have talked. I'm not going to mention what that is here, but I will say best of luck to you, man. Hope life takes you in a good direction. You're a good dude, at least from what I've garnered speaking with you over the past month or so. A little over a month. So, all right. With that out of the way, I want to give a quick hello and shout out to Sully Cortez, at Sully Cortez on Instagram. Sorry, I got my bowl here. I'm going to cut down on the water. I'm drying out. Sully Cortez actually commented on my last video when I did the Devil's Footprints. And he specifically said he would love to see me do a video on Spring Hill Jack. I'd never heard of Spring Hill Jack, ever. I said, let me, go do some research. Maybe I will. I have a list of a couple of people that have, sorry, Bradley, you're one of them, who have recommended stuff to me. I know I've kind of waited a while on those, but this one, because it's Halloween, and because I just immediately got intrigued, I bumped this one to the top of the list. So, all right. So Samhain, I skipped over this last year. So the scent notes they put on the label or pumpkin, sandalwood, bourbon, tobacco. There's more than that. There's cedarwood, I believe. There's musk. There's a whole bunch in there. I just posted what they were too. Sorry, I should have written it down. There's a lot. There's like at least a dozen different scent notes in this soap. It's really good, man. The woody and tobacco, along with the pumpkin, is just something I've never encountered. It's really good. Last year, almost exactly a year ago, during harvest time, which is when this would come out because it's seasonal, I just, for whatever reason, decided I did not like the scent profiles of it, and I did not pick it up. I didn't really care for Southern Witchcrafts at the time, too. I thought their scents were weird, musty, mildewy, just blech. So I did not have an interest in Southern Witchcrafts. This year, I said, screw it. It's a year later. I knew more about scent notes and things like that. What went well with other things. What actually things smelled like on their own. Still working on that. But a year in wet shaving is like 8. It's like 8 wet shaving years. Because you learn so much in a year. So, took a chance on it. Glad I did. It smells fantastic. Also, I have someone sent me a sample of Desirology. I believe it was you, Gareth. Hello, Gareth. At the wet shave, or at the Shave Supply. Speaking of whom, he sent me this shirt and the koozie as a gift for free. Just because he's an awesome guy. Thank you, Gareth, from the bottom of my heart. Dude, this shirt is awesome. Fits great. You were right, it was a large. I said I can get away with a medium because I'm a skinny guy. He was like, I don't know, man. 6'1", I'm going to send you a large. I said, okay. Washed it, put it on. Fits perfectly, like, just absolutely perfectly. Thanks, man. Alright, automatically I can tell I did not add enough water. But I'll do that in a sec. Let me just get the first coat on. Oh, where was I? Oh, Desirology. That's their, I believe it's their barbershop. And Desirology is also the science of embalming corpses, is what it's officially called. So, this is a vegan base. For anyone who's never tried Southern Witchcrafts, I'm still relatively new to them. I think their base is pretty good for a vegan. I've only used them a handful of times. Whoops. So, I'm not going to be too overly critical yet. Or too gung-ho. Simply because I just feel like I do not have enough experience with them. Not because I'm against it or anything. But the pumpkin in this is actually a little lower key because the woody notes are really prevalent, along with, dang it, there's some smoky, oh yeah, smoky wood is in it too. Tiny bit of smoke. I don't get a ton of smoke. What was the other one I was thinking of? The tobacco. Good grief. The tobacco is prevalent in it too, once you really get it lathered up. But alright, 8 minutes in, I haven't even started talking about this. So, most of the photos I'm going to use in this, there's a lot of photos. Most of these photos are from a publication from 1884 called Spring Heel Jack, the Terror of London. Alright? So, Spring Heel Jack was an unidentifiable assailant that began tormenting London in 1837 in the Barnes district. Now, Victorian London was precisely from 1837 all the way to 1901. Okay? 1904 would be the last sighting of Spring Heel Jack. So quite literally throughout the entirety of Victorian era London was Spring Heel Jack. Almost dead on, 3 years shy. So, he's an unidentifiable assailant that began tormenting London in 1837 in the Barnes district of London. He would terrify the English nation for more than 60 years. He preceded Jack the Ripper by over 50 years. 51 years to be exact. Jack the Ripper came about in 1888 in London. Whitechapel district. That's another video in its own right. This is one of my favorite open comb razors, by the way. the Fatip Retro. It's pretty. I like the little ball at the end. And for an open comb, it's one of my favorite open combs. Because I don't think there's as much blade exposure. In my opinion, I might be dead wrong. But I find it to be a much more comfortable open comb. And I'm not going to jinx myself involving nicking, so I'm just going to leave it at that. All right, the first reports of a devil-like figure were generally accepted as hysterical nonsense. Go figure. However, it would receive official recognition for the first time in January of 1838. All right, so a barmaid, Polly Adams, was assaulted while walking across Blackheath in South London one evening. Here's a photo. This is not a woman. This is actually a police officer on patrol. You can see his baton flipping in the air there. But that's the basis of what he would do. He would just pop out of nowhere. I don't know why there's a grave. It looks like he's walking in an alley or something. There's just a grave. So apparently he's walking in a graveyard. I don't know. But that's what the general public believed Spring-Heeled Jack to look like at the time. All right. Gotta be very careful there. That's why I like the straight razors. I use the toe of the straight razor. Do detail work like that around my mustache and fringes of my beard, etc. The first official recorded visual sighting. Okay, so that was an assault, but there was no visual sighting. Whoever it was had fled before anyone was able to arrive and assist. The first actual visual sighting was when a figure leapt out at a servant named Mary Stevens. Her screams attracted passersby, and they came running to her aid. And by the time they got there, whatever it was had completely vanished. Gone. Just poof. They went looking for it, nothing. No trace, not even footprints, nothing. So this starts taking a really odd and borderline comical turn. So bear with me here. In February 1838, all right, a woman named Jane Alsop claimed, you'll see why I'm, claimed a man wearing a cloak rang her doorbell late at night. It's about 8:30, 8:45, close to 9 o'clock p.m. He removed the cloak. He stated he was a cop. And he... That's weird. He stated he was a cop. And he asked to speak to her about the sightings. She opened the door. He immediately removed the cloak to reveal a white oilskin. Now, white oilskin, this is what a white oilskin looks like. I did look it up. I was too curious not to. White oilskin was used as a raincoat back then. So it was a long, literal white leather, oiled up leather coat. And it's called an oilskin because it was saturated with oil, which of course would bead water and make the water roll off. So you'd wear it as a raincoat. He breathed blue and white flames into her face and cut at her clothes with claws. Her sister happened to come down, scared the assailant away. So her sister happened to be in the house with her, heard the commotion, basically came running in, was like, what the hell's going on? And the assailant ran. The blue flames kind of made me chuckle. I'm like, that's a little crazy. But, all right. Then a man named Thomas Milbank was later arrested and tried for the attack on Alsop. This is also funny. Due to her outright insistence that her attacker could breathe fire, Mr. Milbank was released. He was acquitted. All right. I found this picture as well. Him floating through this is the only time I see him straight up flying, coming into a bedroom window. I don't know if that lady has the vapors or whatever's going on there, if she's sick, whatever, but man and woman, and Spring Hill Jack, I found that picture. I'm like, yeah, throw that one up. So a similar incident happened to 18-year-old Lucy Scales, who was in Limehouse walking with her sister. A figure leapt out from behind a wall, breathed fire at her, and then clawed at her clothes. That guy's a weirdo. All right. No water when I flip the paper, because now you know I have it. All right. I gotta be careful here, because I always get myself. Following these accounts, sightings of Spring Hill Jack were reported throughout England and even parts of Scotland. So he was starting to show up everywhere, this guy, whatever it is. All the victims were young women, and all of them separately. This is where it gets important and kind of weird. These women in separate locations. Now keep in mind, this is in the mid-1800s. You didn't have cell phones. You didn't have anything that you could sit there and corroborate, like, hey, let's get our story straight. Like, Margaret, did you get your carrier pigeon? No? Damn it. Well, we got to figure out how, we all our stories line up. It wasn't like that at all. So separately, these women all stated that a man, thin and in tight-fitting clothes with red eyes and claws for hands. So now they think he was wearing gloves with metal claws on it, which I think is far more plausible, for obvious reasons. Was assaulting him. So by this time, many plays, novels, and penny dreadfuls. Penny dreadfuls, real quick, were very famous at the time, and they cost a penny. That's where the name originated from. They were short, suspenseful novels sold in England at the time, and they cost a penny. So they were known as penny dreadfuls. Didn't know that. I knew there was a show, and I knew the term. I knew it was an old term, and I knew it involved serial with an S, books, and things of that nature. I did not know where the name came from, so I love learning that stuff. So there were all these things about him written in the second half of the 19th century. So after it became obvious that this person, creature, whatever it was going around assaulting these women, there were all these things written about him, which of course didn't help. It was these that immortalized his ability, because what he's known for now is being able to hop around rooftops. It was these that immortalized his ability to fly and bound from rooftop to rooftop in search of people or just to escape or whatever. So interesting. Oh, this photo too. I like this photo. It made me laugh. Got the chimney sweep there. The guy's just like, with the chimney sweep, like, oh. I don't know why I'm doing the narrating of the voices, but I like that picture. So by the turn of the century, he was viewed more as a topic of folklore than a real entity. So he had been cited so many times and talked about so often that people just started going, all right. Kind of like, I guess, Mothman would be for us. Which, by the way, I was thinking of doing Mothman, but I got another entity to talk about after this video, so no Mothman. Although I am intrigued by Mothman. Because my grandmother lived in Huntington, West Virginia. And I grew up in West Virginia hearing about Mothman from supposed people who actually saw him. So anyway, sorry not to get off topic. Every summer I used to go visit West Virginia, and I used to be so scared of seeing Mothman after reading and hearing about him. Anywho, where was I? Sorry, guys and gals. The last Spring Hill Jack sighting was in Liverpool in 1904. All right. Many today consider it a myth and outlandish, but there are some facts that are peculiar and show that he was taken quite seriously. Okay. They consider it a myth and outlandish. Here's some facts that I found as to how serious this was taken. All right. We would laugh about it now, but this was at the height of the hysteria. These are some interesting things that show just how scared to death people were of Spring Hill Jack, okay? Number one, the Lord Mayor of London, Sir John Kearney, received at least a dozen complaints from several different parts of the city. He had actual complaints coming to him, official documents delivered to him from the populace, talking about Spring Hill Jack. Now, at the very least, the Lord Mayor would find it a curiosity that all these keep coming to him. But more than likely, he would have enough hysteria going on from townspeople that he would have to both acknowledge that something was going on and also tell them what he had planned to do about it. I would think. Maybe I'm wrong. But throughout the ages, people do not like leaders who fail to act. Told you I shouldn't jinx myself, but that actually isn't too bad. Number two, okay? The nearly 70-year-old Duke of Wellington went out armed and on horseback one evening to try to hunt the creature. He just took it upon himself. I found that. I don't think that's the Duke of Wellington, but I mean, guy on horse. I found it humorous. Clip-clopping around looking for the guy, and he ends up on the back of your mount. That guy probably went back home. Did you find him? Nope. No. Felt I was close at one point, but nah, nothing. Sorry. That's funny to me. All right, in 1870, this one's interesting. This had a lot more to it detail-wise, but I had to shorten it. In 1870, the army set traps unsuccessfully after terrified sentries reported a man leaping onto the roof of their sentry box. So you stood guard in a literal little shack. And if someone was, you know, if you're guarding the street, someone was coming up the street, you'd come out of your sentry box and go, halt, who goes there, blah, blah, blah. He landed on top of that little sentry box. Okay? An army went searching. The Royal Army. I think they're called that. I know there's the Royal Navy. I would assume they're called the Royal Army. Correct me if I'm wrong. Sorry if I am. In 1870, townsfolk in Lincoln reportedly shot at a figure in the street in front of many witnesses. Several people shot at him, a handful of them. The man apparently just laughed and ran away by easily leaping over walls and fences, like so. So, and this is actual stuff written down. This is like survived the ages. This was reported, okay? This stuff. He was he was cornered, supposedly, by townsfolk in Liverpool in 1904. This is the last sighting, and vanished. He supposedly just vanished in front of these people who had cornered him, a group of men. He's not been seen since. There's a kind of a creepy photo. This is actually a photo. I don't know if these are guys burying a body or they were grave robbers, but they were carrying this dead body and he just, you know, sprung up on them, startled them. So that's what that photo is. Give me a sec. Let me rinse this off. I'll be right back and I'll do post-shave. All right. Wow. Post-shave with this stuff's good. So I seem to say that about every soap, but this one was actually really good. Very slick, man. It was like really thick as in my beard. Hard to get out. In a good way. Oop. Grabbing the balm first. Wrong one. All right. Jumped in the wrong grave. Oh. So. Did better than I thought I would. So. Was he real? Was he a fable? Every legend and myth is based on some kind of truth, even if it's 1/10 of what the myth is. There's going to be some degree of truth. So in the 1800s, Victorian era London, could someone have dressed up in a cloak, created gloves with claws on them? Abso-freaking-lutely. Could he have hidden behind stuff and attacked people? Yeah. Could he have leapt from rooftop to rooftop? Like a parkour guy? Maybe. Doubtful. Probably not. Maybe from one roof to another in 3 roofs in a row. I mean, I don't see, it's not like Assassin's Creed, unfortunately. That'd be badass. Could it have been one time someone saw him do it and then the rumor spread like wildfire? Oh, yeah. Breathe fire? No, of course not. So that's the one that got my brain working, was how would you pull that off now? You could obviously set up some rig where you had a hose going up. You know, if you're wearing a mask, have a hose come out and you got some flammable crap and a spark. And you could build something that makes it look like you're breathing fire. In 1840, no. You didn't even have an aerosol can that you could, you know, with a lighter, no. So, nothing I could think of, aside from extreme hyperbole. But it's fascinating. So, real or runaway fable? I'll leave it to you to decide that. I think it's based on truth. But I did come across 2 things that made me kind of smile, that made me really appreciate this. One is this. This is a recent piece of artwork done about Spring Heel Jack. This was done, I think, in the late 2018. So I didn't know about him. Obviously, there are many out there who do. There's also a ton of books about him. I think there's a movie that was made about him, a horror movie. Didn't do well. It's like 1 star. I'm not going to watch it. But anyway, he still exists in the minds of people after all this time. Also, there's a poem I came across. It's called Spring Heel Jack by a poet named Caden. It's a woman. I'm not going to read the whole poem. It's pretty lengthy, but I did take 1 verse out of it that I'm going to leave you with in this video. And it goes, "The man they call Spring Heel Jack, with a flowing cape and eyes jet black. 10 feet tall, I've heard them say, he prowls the streets looking for prey. Over his shoulder he carries a sack, and everyone fears old spring-heeled Jack." Pretty badass. So it was nice to learn about this. I think that's pretty dope. One last little snippet, by the way. A lot of people, a lot of them, link Spring Heel Jack with the Devil's Footprints. Sheer coincidence I came across that. So, because apparently he had possibly cloven hooves. Some say he might, because he walked around on rooftops. A lot of the Devil's Footprints were on rooftops. So, and I didn't find any descriptions of his feet. So, tells you. All right, guys and gals. That's the end of that. Very cool, Sully. Thank you, man. I actually thoroughly enjoyed looking that one up. I was writing some stuff down, and my 12-year-old son came in to ask me for something, and he just happened to look down on my phone, and that's when I was looking for images to use. And he just kind of looked down and was like, "What is that?" I said, "Oh, that's Spring Heel Jack." "You never heard of Spring Heel Jack?" And he's like, "No." "Is he real?" Like, "No, buddy." You know, he's 12. He just turned 12. He's in that cusp of, you know, innocent child and on his way to 13 going on 30, which his older brother's in the midst of, when he's awesome to me when he wants something, and then he's in his room and I don't see him. So, good times. Oh, also, I don't know if you saw this while I was shaving. I know that's grody looking. That's actually poison ivy. I have an elderly neighbor down the road, Christine. She asked me to put in a new mailbox post for her. I did that, and I was down digging. Because Cape Cod, if you dig down further than 4 to 6 inches, you start hitting rocks this big. Because Cape Cod was made during the Ice Age, glacial. So there's always these rocks. So I was down pulling out rocks. Idiot that I am, I didn't even think of poison ivy thanks to the time of year. Got it all over my arm. A little bit on this one, but not as bad as that one. So, yuck. All right. So I think that'll really do it. So Samhain, it's still available. I looked, as of the filming of this, I went and looked to check the scent notes before I did this video. It's still available. Go get one if you like pumpkin. A lot of people aren't pumpkin-y. Myself included. So, actually I take that back. I'm very pumpkin-y. What's wrong with me? But if you like it, it's a very unique take on the pumpkin scent. I like it a lot, man. Way more than I thought I would. I knew I'd probably like it because it's a pumpkin fall scent, but this one's just whew, a lot better than I thought it'd be. So that'll do it. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'm going to do one more. I got the Jersey Devil from Hoffman's that came yesterday as I was doing this. I had originally planned on doing the Jersey Devil. However, solely I saw your question, your request for it. So glad I did it. I think I'm going to do Jersey Devil on Monday on actual Halloween because it's too good of a coincidence. Plus, it's kind of close to home, literally, New Jersey. So I've already started looking into research for that. Can't wait. All right, everyone. Appreciate it. Happy shaving. Hope you enjoyed the story. Hope you enjoyed the shave. And yeah, tune in next time. If you really enjoyed this video, I know they're long, but I have a lot of fun doing them. I do want to show you this. First time I've shown these on the camera. That I do a lot of research for this stuff. Because once I decided to do this, I didn't want to be wrong about any of it. I'm sure I'm going to be along the way. Just because it's online doesn't mean it's right. But I do the best I can. I do put a decent amount of work into this, especially with decorating now. So I do take a lot of pride in it. If you like it, please subscribe. You know, like the videos, whatever. Comment, throw me a recommendation if you want. Would sincerely appreciate it. All right, everyone. Enjoy. Have a great rest of the week. Yeah, I think that's about it. I will post a picture of me. I'm sure I'll post a picture of my Halloween costume. I'm going to be a plague doctor this year. It's going to be awesome. And yeah, if all goes well, I'll be doing a video this Halloween, Monday. This coming Monday. Today's Thursday. So stay tuned. Appreciate it. Y'all have fun. If I don't do anything, if something happens, then have a safe Halloween. Enjoy. Take care. Happy Halloween, everyone. Happy autumn. Happy shaving. Take it easy. Hey, right as I was wrapping up, I also forgot to mention Sully has a YouTube channel. I think he's new to it. He does episodes. And I believe the last I saw he had episode 3 or 4. So I will put his link to his channel down in the description. Go check him out. Throw him a subscription. Appreciate it. Have a good one, guys.